What if the best leaders weren't the ones who commanded the room, but the ones who listened, supported, and lifted others up? Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Coaching Talk series. This is where we explore powerful strategies that link personal and professional development with real-life impact in business, work, and in life. I'm Richard Fontenay, and today we're discussing a topic that's transformative but often misunderstood: servant leadership. Let's begin with this quote from leadership expert Simon Sinek. Leadership is not about being in charge, it's about taking care of those in your charge. Now, that one line turns the traditional leadership model upside down. And that's exactly what we're exploring today. Let's begin this talk by exploring 4 key points for consideration. 1. Servant leadership begins with mindset shift. 2. Servant leadership strengthens organizational culture. 3. Servant leadership boosts collaboration and innovation. And 4. Servant leadership is scalable across all areas of life. I'll also share several examples of how to cultivate servant leadership in business, work, and in life. So let's get started. First, servant leadership begins with a mindset shift. Servant leaders don't ask, "What can people do for me?" They ask, "What can I do for them?" Now, this mindset emphasizes empathy, active listening, and empowering others. When you genuinely shift your perspective to focus on the growth and well-being of those around you, trust and loyalty naturally follow. Here's a story about Maria. Maria was a department head in a regulatory agency. Instead of micromanaging, she held weekly one-on-one check-ins where her team could share both work updates and personal challenges. And over 6 months, employee satisfaction increased by 30%, and her team delivered a website upgrade earlier than scheduled. Second, servant leadership strengthens organizational culture. When people feel recognized and appreciated, they go above and beyond, not out of fear, but out of purpose. Servant leaders foster cultures of respect, inclusivity, and mutual growth. Southwest Airlines is a classic example. They prioritize their employees, believing that happy employees lead to happy customers. And that philosophy? Yeah, it's servant leadership in action. And it has helped them maintain one of the lowest employee turnover rates in the industry. Third, servant leadership boosts collaboration and innovation. Servant leaders foster psychologically safe environments where ideas are welcomed, failures are embraced as learning opportunities, and diverse voices are heard. Innovation flourishes when people aren't afraid to speak up. Even within families and communities, this becomes evident. A parent who listens instead of commands tends to raise children who are more emotionally intelligent and confident. A volunteer group, led by a servant leader, often experiences higher engagement and initiative because members feel ownership rather than obligation. And number 4, servant leadership is scalable across all areas of life. From boardrooms to family rooms, Servant leadership is a flexible model. It's not just for CEOs, it's for coaches, teachers, parents, and team leaders. The common factor? Leading with humility, integrity, and heart. I once coached a client who owned a family business. It was a mom-and-pop organization with 2 children involved. There were relationship issues in the family, which I won't go into now. But we applied servant leadership principles: active listening, empathy, and validation. And within weeks, the relationships improved, and we're able to move past the negativity to have meaningful conversations. And needless to say, their relationship began to heal, and strong teamwork followed. Now let's further expand the application across business, work, and life. In business, practicing servant leadership involves building systems that develop people, not just using them. It means training managers to mentor rather than control. It also means creating policies that empower individuals instead of merely safeguarding productivity. Our studies confirm that when you prioritize people, productivity naturally increases. In the workplace, it's all about supporting your team by asking what they need to succeed, not just assigning tasks. It's about celebrating wins, learning from losses, and recognizing each person as a contributor and not just a role that they had to play. And in life, servant leadership is found in how we show up in our families, our friendships, and our communities. It's being present, being kind, and giving time and attention, and without strings attached. Let's wrap up this podcast. Today we explored the philosophy of servant leadership. And if I were to summarize this podcast, I would say, to lead is to serve. The most enduring legacy a leader can leave isn't in the profits they earn or the policies they create, but in the people they elevate. And from this, organizations thrive and profit follows. So here's our challenge today. Ask one person on your team, your family, or in your community this question: how can I support you today? And then truly listen. Now, if this podcast made you pause, reflect, or think differently about leadership, subscribe, leave a review, and share this with someone who's ready to lead with heart. Next time on Coaching Talk series, we're exploring how to foster a culture of growth and development. You won't want to miss it. Now, thank you for joining me today. I'm Richard Fontenay, signing off. Talk with you next week, if not before. And bye now.